Today's class, we are going to start the next concept is called as DB-scan clustering. Next concept is called as DB-scan clustering. So DB-scan clustering is one of the type of clustering algorithm where it is going to work on the density based. Okay, DB-scan clustering means it is also one type of clustering algorithm. Okay, this is also one type of clustering algorithm. So till now, whatever the algorithm we have worked, that is K-means algorithm. The K-means algorithm is a spherical shape algorithm, like it is going to cover like this. Whereas we are having some kind of arbitrary shaped clusters. Okay, this is called as spherical based clusters and arbitrary shaped clusters, right? Both the clusters we are having. Done. Next, here, what is the major difference between the K-means versus density-based clustering? Why they have created this density-based clustering means, here there are some data points which are outliers. Some outliers also, though it is not related to that particular cluster also, it is still even including. K-means assigns all the data point to a cluster, even that doesn't belong to if any. For example, actually this data point is there. This data point is neither this one or this one, this one. It is a unique one, but it is going to combine into any one. So K-means clustering is going to combine each and every data point into one cluster. It is going to take into one cluster. Okay. Whereas density-based clustering, for example, if it is not belonging to any of the class, it is going to leave as it is. The outliers will be left out as it is. So it is something unique. Something unique means it will be left as it is. It is not going to it is not going to keep inside these clusters. Okay, that is the major difference between the K-means versus density-based. So K-means clustering means where this K-means clustering where we are having all the data points. Each and every data point will be assigned to a cluster. Here in the arbitrary based clustering, that is nothing but density-based clustering. It is going to identify only based on the density. Density means nothing but mass by volume. Generally, everyone knows density, right? Density means mass by volume. Within the given area, how many number of data points are there that it is going to focus. Okay. So now let us understand how the density-based clustering works. So density-based clustering means DB-scan clustering full form is density-based partial clustering of applications with noise. With noise means the outliers will be separated. The outliers also will be visible in the scatter plot. The outliers will be separated. Easily you can identify the noise. Noise means which are nothing but anomalies. Anomalies or which are also called as outliers. Which neither belongs to any of the class. It is separated means it will be an anomaly. Right? So density-based partial clustering of applications with noise. So here how it is going to work means based on the two concepts. One is called as radius. Radius. So it is going to draw a circle. It will draw a circle. The circle is nothing but the area. So now the circle, it is going to draw the circle. Now in this circle, first it will draw. For example, I have given R is equal to 2. Okay. Distance of 2 means it is going to draw a circle with a distance of 2. Radius of 2. Right. And next one is M. M is nothing but minimum number of neighbors. Okay. Now minimum number of neighbors. So here first it will draw the circle. For that data point, it will draw the circle. And after drawing the circle, within that circle, how many number of data points are there? It is going to count. Right? So in density-based clustering, the each data point is divided into 3 parts. First one is called as core point. Second one is called as border point. Third one is called as outlier point. So this is the scatter plot. Assume this is a scatter plot. In this scatter plot, we are having the core points are there, border points are there, outlier points are there. Now, what is meant by core point? First, what is meant by core point? Core point means if you draw a circle, for example, R is equal to 2, M is equal to 6. Now, what is meant by R is equal to means I'm going to draw a circle of 2 radius. A circle of 2 radius. Once if I draw a circle of 2 radius and M is equal to 6 means minimum number of neighbors. Minimum number of neighbors should be 6, including that data point inside the circle, 6 should be there. If 6 of them are there, then it is called as core point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here the condition is getting satisfied. It is going to draw a circle of 2 and within the 2, The M is equal to 6. So inside this circle, 6 data points is there or not? Yes or no? It is going to check. If yes means, it is going to convert it is as the core point. If answer is no means, it is called as border point. That is the difference between a core point versus border point. So for this, first it is going to draw a circle. Similarly, second data point. Okay, once this data point is completed, it is going to move to the second data point. Now it is going to draw this one. Now here it has drawn a circle of 2. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only 5 data points are there. 6 data points, it is not satisfying the condition. So this is called as border point. Now this is called as border point. Now next it will go to that next point. Again it will draw. For each and every point, how many points are there? For each and every point it will do the same. Not for one point. For each and everything. Starting from here, first it will do the circle. For this data point, it will draw a circle of 2. For this one, it will draw a circle of 2. Like this, it is going to draw the circle for everything. Right? Once it is going to identify how many border points are there, how many with respect to core points are there. First, it will identify like that. Once it is done, now it is going to attach all the core points. It is going to attach all the core points. For these core points, whatever the border points are there, everything belongs to one cluster. Is that clear? So just it is going to apply a concept called as R and M, where R is the radius, M is the minimum neighbors. Right? So here just it is going to add like this. For example, there is a point. For this, it has drawn a R is equal to 2. M is equal to 6. It is not satisfying. Here, only one and only point is left miss, then it is called as outlier point. If at least one of them, one more point also is there. If one more point is there like this, then it is considered as a border point. But here it was left with alone, single point. Only one and only single point is there. So this is called as outlier point. Is that clear, guys? So this is called as outlier point. And now these are called as outlier point, border points and core points. Now it is going to attach all the core points and finally it is going to make a cluster. And this is called as noise. Now density based clustering. What is meant by density based? Density means mass by volume. Mass means nothing but number of neighbors. By volume. Volume is in the given area. So whatever the circle it has drawn, within this circle, it is having this minimum number of points or not. It is checking. So it is called as density based. Okay. So density based clustering, where it is going to apply with respect to called as arbitrary shape. The shapes are not fixed with respect to the circles. So whatever the core points are there, just it is attaching all the core points. And finally, it is going to merge all the core points along with their border points. For this core point, this is the border points, right? So whichever the core points, border points are there, it is going to attach. For this core point, whatever the border it is sharing, for this core point, these are the borders it is sharing. So it is going to attach all the border points of that core point. So like this, it is going to combine the core points and finally it is going to make the cluster. Like this, it is going to identify the anomalies. Anomalies means with respect to this is the only one data point which is separated. It is exclusive. It is not included either into this. It is not either included into this. This is a separate one. The character is a different one because nearby nothing is there. Nearby nothing is there means it is a special one. Something special. Right? Is that clear? Now, how we are going to select this R value and M value? How we are going to choose this one? Means the R value and M value will be selected based on number of clusters. So we have to change the different R values and different M values. Okay, first we are going to try with R is equal to 1 and M is equal to 5. This is the by default one. Okay, later you are going to try with 2, 3, 4. Like this you are going to increase the R value till you get the number of clusters. Your required number of clusters. Sir, how my required number of clusters I know before itself? That is K-means. Before in the K-means itself, you are going to identify the optimum number of clusters. Now here you are going to combine and you are going to see the anomalies. For example, if you do this for the same data set, assume the same data set is there. You have applied the k-means algorithm. What happens? This one also will be included in this one. Anomalies will not be identified. So density-based clustering is used to identify the anomalies, which is special one, which is the special data points are there in my data set. To identify those, it has been created. It is not used to, but with respect to not for identifying the number of clusters. So here we are not able to identify the total number of clusters. How many number of clusters we have to do, that we can't identify from DBSCAN. That is not possible. Okay, because this R value and M value are not fixed every time. Right? So in order to do the hyperparameter tuning, here there is no test accuracy also. Okay, there is no actual data. In order to make sure that original answer, to make sure it will bring to the original answer also, there is no, with respect to the original answers are not there. Right? So here the clustering will be done entirely in a different process. Now, sir, in real life, if for example, if you are doing on a clustering problems, then what we have to do? So first you have to select the data set, and for data set, you have to do the data cleaning or data wrangling, that is encoding. And before to that, you have to do the EDA. And commonly this data pre-processing, whatever the data pre-processing stage is there, that is common. Now, once the data pre-processing is completed, now you are going to apply the model. In the modeling, first you have to apply the optimum number of clusters. First, you have to identify the optimum number of clusters. Optimum number of clusters, the best one is, the only is k-means. Within the k-means, how to identify this k is, that is nothing but WCSS value. Wherever the less change in the WCSS is there, that one is the best one. That is by using the elbow method. So from the k-means algorithm, how we have identified the optimum number of clusters of k, first you have to do that one. That is mandatory. For any clustering algorithm, that is mandatory. Once we identify the number of clusters from the k, or k-means algorithm, the k value, now if your interest is to see in which the category it belongs to only, means directly go and apply the k-means. If you want to see with which two are very close to each other, which data points are very close to each other and how others are forming the distribution, means if you want to see the distribution, means then you apply the dendrogram. If you want to identify the outliers or the noise or some kind of anomalies, apply the DBSCAN. That is, as per your requirement, we are going to do these two. Majorly, we are going to work on the k-means. If you want to see the dendrogram only, we are going to use the hierarchical clustering. If you want to observe any anomalies only, we have to do the DBSCAN. Okay. For example, in the data set, okay, in the last class, I have given you the example like 21, 22, 24, 35, and 36. Right? Now, if you go with this one, dendrogram, you can see the dendrogram with 21 and 22, whatever the 21 and 22. And for that, 24 will be close. And similarly, 35 and 36. And for this overall, it will be like this. So this is the dendrogram. So here we can identify these two are very close to each other. These two are very close to each other. Out of which one, this is very somewhat close to this one only, this cluster. When compared to this one, it is close to this cluster that we have identified. Now, for example, in the same data set, assume the age of the students like this, out of which one of the age is 80. One of the student is 80. Now, automatically, so dendrogram is going to convert like this. Whenever the 80 is there, dendrogram is going to be automatically like this. Means it is going to include everything. Every record will be included. Whether it is included with that cluster, whether it is included this cluster, that is only question mark. But every record is included. But whereas in the density-based clustering, this 80 will be separated. This is neither belongs to this one, this neither belongs to this cluster. These three of them forms one cluster. These two of them forms one cluster. This is separate one. It will not include either into these two. It is not compulsory to include in these two. Is that clear? So that is the advantage of DBSCAN clustering. Done? Now just we are going to consider the R value and M value. So once you are calculating the R value for every data point, you draw the circle. In the circle, if M is equal to 6, condition satisfies either M minimum. So first, for each and every data point, each and every data point, draw circle of whatever the R value is there. This is the step number 1. Okay, for each and every data point, you draw that one. So for that data point, if that data point in that circle, whatever the circle you have drawn, in that circle, if number of data points, is greater than or minimum equal to your M value, either minimum whatever the condition was given, either minimum should be there or maximum anything. There is no limit. On upper limit, there is no limit. Minimum M value should be satisfied. So for example, you have drawn a circle of 2 and minimum of 6. Now you are taking a, for example, this one is there. For this, you have drawn a circle like this. Now, if it is satisfying greater than or equal to 6, then it is called as core point. Now, whether it is called as core point or border point, this one. For this one, you are drawing a with respect to a circle of 2. Draw a circle of 2 for this one. Inside this, only 2 points are there. Not minimum of 6 is not satisfying. If this condition is satisfied, then it is called as core point. If the condition is not satisfied, that is minimum that is greater than 2 are there. Minimum at least 2 should be there. Minimum 2 should be there. Greater than or equal to 2 is there, then only it is called as border point. In that circle, exactly is equal to 1 only is there. Only that data point only is available. Then it is called as outlier point. Okay, in that, draw the circle. In that circle, check whether how many data points are there. If it is satisfying the minimum value, it is called as core point. If it is not satisfying, it is called as border point. And one and only one is there, means it is called as outlier point. Is that clear? Now, so here the data set, I am considering the same data set, whatever we have worked on the yesterday's class. That is NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, and data set. I am going to take the same mall customers data set once again. Right? The same mall customer data set, I have applied the k-means. The same mall customer, I have applied hierarchical clustering. The same mall customer, I am going to apply for the density based also. Right? So here the mall customer, whatever the things are there, that is annual income versus the spending score. 2 columns I am having. One is annual income, second one is spending score. If I check that data, that is with respect to 200 records, whatever the 200 records are there, total 200 records with 2 columns. One is annual income versus spending score. So now if you are making a scatter plot, so if you see the missing values, there is no missing values. And if you consider this X, 2 values, both of them, you are considering both the columns, that is X1, X2, 2 columns you are considering. X1 and X2, both the columns you are considering. And here you are going to apply the modeling, that is from sklearn.cluster, import the dbScan. You are going to import the dbScan. And inside the dbScan, you are writing the EPS is equal to 2. EPS means nothing but radius. And minimum underscore samples is equal to 5. So in that radius, if the minimum samples of 5 is there, means then it is called as core point. Otherwise, it is called as border point. Only one and only is there, means it is called as outlier point. So with that outlier point, we are identifying the clusters. Just we are going to apply the same thing, fit and predict on the X. Whatever we have done in the last class, the same to same. That is in the k-means clustering also we have done the same. Okay. So here also we have taken the same 2 columns and we have done with respect to same missing values and same X. But we have went with respect to the k-means, and first we have identified which is the best k value. After identifying the best k value, this is the optimum k value, that is k is equal to 5. For this data set, k is equal to 5 as the best one. We have worked on the model. That is k means is equal to clusters is equal to 5. Initialization k means plus plus, and we have fit and predicted on x. Here not fit and transform, fit and predict. Predict means directly apply this algorithm on that data. Predict directly. Okay. So fit and predict on the x, and you are going to get the output. And you are having with respect to the whatever the cluster it belongs to. Now, if you see in these clusters, how many unique clusters are there? Miss 4 unique clusters are there. Okay, -1 is one of the cluster, 0 is one cluster, 1 is one cluster, 2 is one cluster. Total 4 clusters are there. Right? Is that clear? Done, guys? So that is density-based clustering. Density-based clustering is used to identify anomalies. The main purpose of density-based clustering is to identify anomalies. Sir, for example, anomalies you told before itself, for example, in the data pre-processing itself, I have checked the outliers and I have cleaned the outliers. I have transformed the outliers. Now there is no outliers only. Now without outliers, now if I apply the DBSCAN clustering, I have reformed. That means I have converted. And after that I have applied the DBSCAN clustering. Means if everything is included, then there is no special, right? If every data point is included, then what is the difference between DBSCAN versus hierarchical? There will be no difference. Both are same. Okay. The special data points you want to identify only, we are using the DBSCAN. DBSCAN purpose is that one. So when we are going to use that one, miss, based upon the requirement. For example, inside the bank only, okay, in the banking industry, for example, for the clustering example, we have seen that different types of customers. Like some customers will be interested towards the gold loan. Some customers will be interested towards the car loan. Some people will be interested towards the housing loan. Some persons will be interested towards the commercial loan or business loan. Something like this. Now, within that commercial loan also, that is business loan also, some people belongs to with respect to their average income or with respect to their loan requirement will be, business loan requirement means generally 5 lakhs to 20 lakhs is common. Okay, generally business loan of 5 lakhs to 20 lakhs is common. If someone is asking a business loan of 5 CR, that is separate. That is considered as an anomaly. So here in the clustering algorithm, we are not going to treat the outliers. So here we are going to identify the anomalies and we are going to treat them separately and we have to cluster them. So who are interested in a high budget of with respect to business loan, we are going to separate them. Right? So DBSCAN clustering is exclusively based upon the requirement. In that requirement, if you want to identify any anomalies only, we are going to apply the DBSCAN. Otherwise, generally by default, we are going with the k-means. 99% of the cases, k-means only we are going to apply. Is that clear, guys? Any questions? No? So let us start the next topic. Yeah, in the current data set, is there, what is the anomaly, sir? In the current data set, there is no anomalies. If there is an anomaly, miss, for example, if you want with respect to whatever the values are there, just you plot the scatter plot. Take the scatter plot. So for example, if you do this value counts also, if you apply the value counts, so you can see one total 200 data points, out of which 182 data points belongs to single cluster. They are normal data points. 8, 5, 5. Just apply using these 4 values. Go with the scatter plot. How we have applied yesterday in the scatter plot. Check the same type of scatter plot. Apply the same scatter plot here also. Then you can identify which record is a particularly anomaly. Is that clear? By applying the anomalies. Done. Sir, if you treat the outliers before, then also it will show the outliers. No. If you treat the outliers before itself and if you clean the data and everything are normal. So for example, this data set is there. For this data set, from where I can bring the outlier data point? If you draw the, for this data point also, if you draw the circle of that one, that is satisfying, means then it is not considered as an outlier, right? Minimum 1 data point is there inside that one. If minimum extra to this 1 data point is there, then it is comes under border point only, not as an outlier data point. Okay. Is that clear? Why -1? That is by default. So the clusters here, the cluster numbers they have given in the last class, whatever the cluster numbers are there. In the K means the cluster numbers, it has taken the 5 clusters. Numbers are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the 5 clusters. Cluster 0, cluster 1, cluster 2, cluster 3, cluster 4. Total 5 clusters. Number of clusters is equal to 5. Now in the DBSCAN clustering, if you go with the DBSCAN clustering, in the DBSCAN clustering, they have given with the numbering. This is the name of the cluster. -1 or here, whatever the 0 or 4 or whatever it is there, it is name of that cluster. Okay, it belongs to cluster number 4. It belongs to cluster number 3. It belongs to cluster number 2. Okay, the name of the cluster. It is the name of the clusters. Is that clear? One is applied Netflix, one is DMart. Association rule is in DMart. Recommendation engines is Amazon Prime, Netflix, YouTube, all of them comes under with respect to this recommendation engines. Recommendation engines. So now in the recommendation engines, topic called as recommendation engines. So in the recommendation engines, it is going to identify the pattern. Okay, it is going to capture the patterns of the human behavior and it is going to predict with respect to what would be the next one. Okay, so a recommendation engines is going to capture the pattern of the human behavior, right? So the applications are Netflix, Amazon, Facebook, LinkedIn, with respect to like Twitter and along with the YouTube. Okay, so these are the various platforms where it is going to work on the recommendation engines. So what you want to buy. So for example, you have purchased one of the book, okay, in the Amazon or with one of the product in Amazon, it is going to recommend you the related products to that. Whatever the related products are there, it is going to recommend you. So that is called as a recommendation. And what you have to eat, where you have to eat. So how it is going to decide means based upon your interest and search. For example, in the YouTube, you have find with respect to the biryani. You have checked in the biryani. Now, automatically, once you open the connected any app related to with respect to YouTube, or for example, you have checked in the Google. In the Google, you have typed in Hyderabad where we can find the best biryani. You have typed like this, assume. And you have got some websites and you have clicked on the some of the links. And whenever you open the YouTube, it will open the first ad. It will post with respect to the biryani. One ad will come with respect to Bawach biryani or Paradise biryani or something which are related to you. It will come. So how it is identifying is based on your search. So your search in the Google, whatever the search engine you are using in the Google, based on the search engine, the YouTube ads are getting dependent, right? Now, which job you have to apply? So previously, which type of jobs you have seen? According to that, it is going to recommend this job will be related to you. So you have checked in the Google data science jobs. Automatically, whenever there is a data science job, it is going to send a notification because you have searched that one. So based on your search, it is recommending, right? Who should be your friends based on the connections, right? Now, with respect to the platforms. Now, how this recommendation engines works? Logic is very, very simple logic. For example, there is a YouTube. Let us take an example with respect to YouTube. Okay, in the YouTube, there is one video. Okay, this video is of 5 minutes, 20 seconds video. Okay, some time of 5 minutes, 20 seconds. You have just created your Gmail ID. Just now you have created. Okay, assume that you have created your first Gmail ID. And using that Gmail ID, you have entered into the YouTube. For the first video, it is not going to post any kind of ad because it don't know what you are looking for. It don't know anything, right? What you are looking for, it don't know anything. So it will not do any kind of, it will not post any kind of ad. Just first video I have clicked here. This video is something related to movie clip. Okay. Assume this is a movie clip, which is Telugu movie. Okay. In this Telugu movie, the common things, it is going to, this 5 minutes, 20 seconds, out of 5 minutes, 20 seconds, how much minutes of runtime you have done. whether you have skipped something, you have forwarded, or you have moved very fastly to the forward position, or total out of 5 minutes 20 seconds, how many minutes you have watched. It will take that one. It will create the one column called as how many minutes you have watched this video. And this video is related to what? It is related to genre, which is movie genre. Within that movies, within that again it comes under whether it is a comedy movie, whether it is a horror movie, whether it is an action movie, whether it is a thriller movie, or whether it is something will be there, right? The genre will be there, right? So it is going to identify that genre, right? It will take that genre. Once it has identified that genre also, next it will take the, for this particular for one video, there will be certain number of features are there in that movie. So for example, in this movie clip, let us take an example. Let us take, this is a Gabbar Singh movie. Okay, this is a Gabbar Singh movie clip. Now where where we are having some kind of action scene of PK. Pawan Kalyan's action scene is there. And you are watching that one. And you have watched every second to second. Okay. Now it will take that you are interested in the action. It will take a tick mark in the action. Wherever the action word is there it is going to keep 1. For remaining, it will keep the zeros. For thriller, in the thriller portion, it will keep the 0. In the action, wherever the action is there, it is going to select that one. Automatically, now this is action 1. This particular clip is related to action 1. Now, second clip, you are watching the second clip. One more clip, which is related to again Gabbar Singh only. This time you are watching with a comedy scene. Within the Gabbar Singh movie, again a comedy scene is there. And that comedy scene, for this particular video, in the back end, the data will be like this. The comedy will be 1 and remaining will be 0. Means basically this data belongs to the comedy one. Now first you have checked this one. Second you have checked in this one. Now again third video, you have checked with the same Gabbar Singh movie. Now this time you have watched with a different one. Here also 5 minutes 20 seconds is there. This is of 4 minutes of 16 seconds. And this is of 6 minutes 30 seconds something. Now it will understand that you are interested in the Gabbar Singh. Okay, it will understand that one. By seeing all these 3, it will understand. It will get a confirmation that you are interested in the Gabbar Singh movie. Now, the 4th video of Gabbar Singh, if you play, it will post an ad. Because it knows that you are going to watch that one. Okay, it knows clearly that you are watching this one. Now, assume instead of Gabbar Singh, you have watched with respect to some other movie like Kushi. Okay, now from this, it will understand that you are a PK fan. Okay, because the common thing is the PK, right? The Pawan Kalyan hero is common in all of them. So it will understand with respect to you are a PK fan. And whenever you are watching one more video related to PK, immediately it will post an ad. Continuously, if you watch 10 videos, of PK related, 11th video, it will post the 2 ads. 2 ads you have to see compulsory. No skip also will be there. 100% you have to watch only. That ads we have to watch. At least after watching 4 videos, if you change to another hero, or if you come out of that one and you have watched some news channel, or if you have changed it to sports, again you are coming back like this. If you do something means, it will give the option like skip ad only. At least it will give the skip ad. But if you continuously watch the videos of PK, continuously for 10 clips, 10 movie clips, right? So this is 10 videos, different videos, not with one video only of 3 hours video. 10 different videos continuously if you play, it will understand that you are a Pawan Kalyan fan, and automatically it will give the skip ad option also. It will remove that one. That to 2 ads. It will play the 2 ads, and the 2 ads you have to see compulsory. And after this, up to here it is okay. Ad it is posting okay, not a problem. But after this, it is going to recommend one video. That too, it is going to recommend based on whatever the videos we have done earlier, 10 videos are there. In this common pattern is there, one is PK, one is genre. So for example, I have observed only comedy scenes of PK, assume. Or if I observe some kind of action scenes or something I have watched. Now, it is going to recommend me related to the same, which will attract for me, and I will click on that surely. Because I am in the flow now. In that flow only, automatically I am interested in that. I am seeing continuously second to second I am watching. If I am skipping off everything means that I am okay. I am not that much of interested. Second to second you are watching means you are fully of interested and you are free. Your free time you are watching the movie. The YouTube will understand clearly, and according to that, it is going to recommend. Right? Now, whatever it is going to recommend, and this probability of recommendation, whatever it is going to recommend, the recommended video, once you click on that recommended video, second time, again, it is going to recommend one more video. Again, you click on that. Again, it will recommend. Again, you click on that. Like this, 3 times you click. Now, it will identify your complete pattern. It will play the game with you. Okay. So once it understands what type of person you are, it will post related to multiple videos, and automatically you'll be interested in that videos, and that videos ads also you'll see 100% you'll see. In that, at least 1 or 2 ads you'll click, and they'll get the revenue. So everyone knows that YouTube makes the revenue. YouTube makes the revenue only based on the ads. Now there are multiple YouTube channels are there, where the YouTube is paying the money for the channels. Who are having the channels, they are paying the money based on their subscribers, based on the number of views, and like this, right? So why YouTube is paying for these people? Okay, they are creating the content, fine. Okay, some X person is there, he is creating the content in the YouTube. Some Y person is there, he is creating the YouTube. He is creating the content in the YouTube. Some Z person is creating the content in the YouTube. Okay. Now, why YouTube has to pay for them? Reason behind that? Because if you pay for them, they'll create the more interesting content. If you don't pay means they'll create a normal content, general content. So if you pay for them, they'll try to create the more interesting content. They'll create with respect to high thumbnails. Of course, inside that it will not be anything, but thumbnails will be there at least, which attracts to click on that video. Now, once we click on that video, now once the movie, whatever the watch time is there, based on the watch time, it is going to pay. Now, this YouTube people will ask us to subscribe, share, like, comment. Right? Every YouTube person will say, don't forget to subscribe and click on the bell icon. Right? They'll say like this. Why? What is the main, why they are saying like this? Because YouTube is paying for the likes and comments. For the likes, for the comments also they are paying. The more number of likes, the more number of comments. For example, there is a person. One person has started some kind of sentences in the YouTube comments. Now another person is going to give the opposite one. Again, he will reply. Again, these both people are discussing. While discussing these both people, the number of times they'll watch this one, and it is getting shared to the others also. So when it is getting shared to the others, automatically everyone are going to watch this video. If they skip the video, miss, for example, I have shared you one video. You have not watched this video. Based on that, I will understand about you. If you watch, miss, based on that, I will understand. Understanding is common. If you click also, I will understand. If you don't click also, I will understand. Whatever the videos it is having in the YouTube, based on each and every video, based on that, we can understand. And based on your requirements, whatever your YouTube history is there, once, if anyone wants, means live, if you want, you can open in my laptop now only. Open your YouTube history now. I will, and you open any of the video, I will tell whether the ad will posted or not, and which type of ad also will be posted also, I will tell. If you show me the YouTube history, and if you show me your Google history, I can tell even the ad also, which type of ad. Not exactly, but related ad. Not exact ad. Right? So, for example, assume that before to the class, before 7:30. Okay, before to the class, from 6:30 to 7:30, you have watched this 1 hour YouTube only. Multiple videos you have watched and you have entered into the class, assume. Okay. Now, before to 6:30, you have watched the Google, last Google search. Something you have typed in the Google, right? That Google search is going to be the ad in the next after this class. If you want, you can go and check. Right? It is completely connected to each other. And just it is identifying. This is called as content-based recommendation engines. Content-based means it is going to understand the content, whatever the videos you have watched or whatever the things you have done. Based on that, it is going to identify. For example, first you have watched the PK movie. Assume. Second, you have watched Mahesh Babu movie. Third, you have watched with respect to some Prabhas movie. Fourth, you have watched with respect to some other star movie. it will confirm from all these things that we are a fan of movies. That is common. Hero different, but movie is common. Movie clip is common. Right? It will understand that you are going to watch with respect to the movies. Now, out of all these movies, how many of them belongs to action genre? How many belongs to comedy? How many of them belongs to with respect to thriller or something? Whatever it is, according to that, the next video clip, whatever you are going to click, whether it will post the ad or not, it is completely dependent, and it will identify the probability that what is the probability that you are going to watch this video. Okay, just you tell me, if I have watched a movie clip, assume I have watched a movie clip where the Pawan Kalyan is the hero, and I have watched a movie which is of 6 minutes. I have not even skipped off 1 second also. Just you only tell me. And second, again, I have watched one more PK clip, whether it is same movie or different movie, but PK is common, right? Again, it is a 5 minutes video. Now, again, one more movie clip. This time it is of 1 hour 20 minutes, but every 1 hour 20 minutes also I have watched completely. Not even 1 second also I have skipped off. Every second I have watched. Now, from these three things, what you will understand? You are understanding, right? But just by saying only these three only you are understanding. Now, for example, next there is a PK movie, which is a super hit movie. And that too, in these three things, common thing is action. Some action is common is there. Okay, assume there is an action. Action sequences are common. Okay, something. Now from this, if for example, in this movie clip, PK is there, action also is there. In this clip, it belongs to PK, it belongs to action. Now tell me whether I am going to click on this movie or not. What is the probability that I will click on this movie clip? And what is the probability that I will not click? Both will be there, right? Out of these two, which one is high? Clicking is high or not clicking is high? Automatically it will post that. Simple. Logic is very simple. Still, if you want to understand very clearly, miss, after the class, what you have to do is you create a new Gmail account. Completely new one. Okay, whatever the old one is there, completely erase. Go to the Google and create in the Google Chrome or whatever the Mozilla Firefox, whatever you are using. In that, first you clear the entire history. Okay, go to the YouTube and delete the entire history. Okay, and back with respect to whatever the things are there, everything delete. And you create a new Gmail account. Completely new Gmail account. Now you go and log in the YouTube. First time you log in with this Gmail account. And click on the one ad, second one, third one. Whatever I have told you that PK movies. In my case, PK. In your case, what are your favorite hero? Right? So just click on that. Automatically, you'll observe what happens in the fourth one. Just observe. So this is called as content-based movie recommendation. Content-based recommendation. Okay. So content-based means just it is going to identify what are the different things you have watched earlier, and based on this, what is the probability that you will be interested in this one? Means what are the common parameters are there? How many common parameters are there? It will observe that one. Right? If the common parameters are more common parameters are there, the more probability. If less common parameters are there, less probability. Simple. Okay. For example, this person is interested in this particular thing. He has given for one of the movie with respect to 4.8 out of 5. For one movie, he has given 4.8 out of 5. For one movie, he has given 4.9 out of 5. For one movie, 2 out of 5 he has given. Assume. He has given for 3 different movies, 3 different values like this. Now, why he has given 4.8 for this one, for 4.9 for this one? When compared to this one, there will be some logic behind that. So that whatever the pattern is there, that it is identifying, and there is a new movie, something new movie is there, which is related to these two. If there is a new movie, miss, you will give high rating or low rating. Simple. Right? That is the Netflix, working of the Netflix. So Netflix, wherever you are watching the movies, within the Netflix, what are the movies you are watching, the web series. Okay. For example, I'm watching the web series like English web series, some 2 or 3 web series I have watched continuously, assume. Now it is going to recommend me the 4th web series, which is related to that. And what is the probability that I will be interested in that movie also? It is not going to recommend me any Korean movie, right? Because I have not opened any kind of Korean movie. So it is not going to recommend me that one. It is going to recommend me only the English web series. Since I have completed the few web series of English related language. So it is going to show me the recommendation also English only, not even Telugu also. So for example, I don't know Hindi. Okay, generally I will not watch the Hindi movies. I will not watch the Hindi web series also. Nothing, right? I will watch either Telugu or English. Now, if I open my Netflix account now, in that recommendations, it will show with respect to some English web series with a probability of 98% also it will show. What is the probability that I will be interested towards that web series also it will show. The higher the probability, that one we are going to click. And after clicking on that, we'll see that one. Sir, it is recommending and you are saying what, sir? You have to see on your own. Why you should not see like this, miss? Everyone are saying based on the reviews and they are going to the movies now. First, they're seeing the reviews and the movie is good only. They're booking the tickets. No one is ready to waste their time for the waste web series, right? We have to, whichever we are interested, related to that only we are seeing. We are not having the enough time to see all the web series in the world, right? It is not possible. Whichever are related to us, we are going to see that one, right? Now, similarly, this is called as content-based. Content-based means whatever the content you have created, based on that, it is going to recommend. Second one is there. This is variety. Collaborative filtering. Okay, this is something different. Okay. In collaborative filtering, we are having, the thing is that, for example, here, let us see, this person is interested, he is giving a good rating for this one. This person has given a good rating this one. This person has given a good rating this one. Okay, for you simple example, I will tell you. Before to this, still more simple example. Let us assume I am having a shopping in Amazon. I have done the shopping from many years I am doing. Right? Now they are already having my history, right? Amazon is having my history. Database is already there. My history is already there with them. Now within this Amazon, now I have purchased with respect to one Apple iPhone. Apple iPhone 12 Pro. Okay. One product. Second, I have purchased with respect to Bosch washing machine. Okay. Next, I have purchased with respect to Apple AirPods. Okay. Next, I have purchased with respect to some kind of Sony TV. Assume. Example only. None of them have purchased. Assume. Example only. Pure example only. Okay. Now, these are the things I have purchased. Now, these 4 multiple mobiles are there. Why you have purchased Apple 12 Pro only? Why you have not purchased 12 or 12 Pro Max? Why you have purchased 12 Pro only? Because some interest will be there, right? You have find some interesting one. Either you have felt that money value for money is 12 Pro when compared to value for money of 12 or 12 Pro Max. You have felt 12 Pro is the value for money. You have felt within the Bosch, multiple washing machines are there. Why you have selected that particular item only, model only, that particular model only? That is your interest. Something was attracted for you. Why you have selected Apple AirPods only and a Sony TV, that too, that particular model only? Something you have interested. Now, like this, in the entire Amazon database, is there any other person like me? In the entire Amazon database, is there any other person like me who has done the with Apple iPhone 12 Pro? Whoever has purchased the same Apple iPhone 12 Pro, same model of Bosch washing machine, same AirPods, same Sony TV, as it is same model. One more person also has purchased, some X person. Some X person in entire Amazon website, in the entire Amazon database, some X person has purchased, assume. Means we both of them are having the same taste, right? Same logic only, right? Something was attracted for this one for us. Same thing was attracted. Same thing. We both are having the same taste. For example, this person is interested with any other product. Okay. Something like Bose headphones. For example, he is interested in this or soundbar, Bose soundbar. There is a high probability that I will be also interested because we both are having the same taste. Done? It is true or false? In your entire Amazon database, like you, one person will be there or not? Yes or no? Whether you know or no? 100% will be there. If at least 3 of them matches also, 75% compatibility is there. At least compatibility will be there, right? For each and every person to person, compatibility will be there. Out of that compatibility, which person is having the highest compatibility, that person's interest will be our interest. And it is going to recommend us. That is called as collaborative filtering. Sir, no sir, nothing like that, sir. For example, after the class, you and your friend both are going outside. And your friend wants to drink the coffee. He'll ask, can you join for coffee? Though we are not interested at that particular moment also, okay. Suddenly interest will come, right? Basically, we are not having the interest at that time. If we are having interest means first we have to ask, right? After your friend asking only you have got the interest means your interest, your friend interest. Your friend interested, you are drinking. That is called as collaborative filtering concept. Simple logic, right? Just it is identifying your similarities. Whatever the similarities are there with others, it is identifying, and whatever the others are interested, it is recommending us. Okay. If my friend comes and if he says that, let us go to Bavachira. Though I am not interested in Bavachi, he is asking. Obviously, I will also be interested in Bavachi. Right? Basically, I am not having the interest. Since he is having interest, I have got the interest because we both are friends. If we both are enemies, then what I will say, if he says Bavachi means, I will say, in Bavachi, completely cockroaches are there. They will not maintain the hotel properly. Worst hotel in Hyderabad. We will say like this because he is enemy now. If he is friend means, okay, no problem. Hotel is not nice means food is nice now. Let us bring parcel. We'll see the positives only. If you are interested means positives. If you are not interested, negatives. Completely, it is called as collaborative filtering. Okay, the concept is called as collaborative filtering, where it is collaborative. Collaborative means with respect to. Sir, another example, Naresh IT recommending courses based on the courses we have selected. Yes. So earlier you have completed Python course in Naresh IT means it is recommending you data science. Next step to go to the further. Right? That is one of the example. So that is based on the content-based examples and collaborative filtering. So see here, this person basically interested in this one. This person is interested in this one. This person is interested in this one. He has already given the ratings, a good rating for this both. And this particular girl has given the same ratings for these both of them. Means these both people are having the same taste. Since both of them are having the same taste, this person is interested in this one. Automatically, this girl also will be interested towards this one. So, which is having the similar preferences, which is called as collaborative filtering. Is that clear? Done? So, collaborative filtering means depending on the others. Content-based means whatever depending on ours. Okay, this is completely depending on the others' interest. Others are interested, so we'll also be interested. So, this is based on our previous, whatever the interested we are having. This is called as content-based, which is your pure. This is based on others. Both of them are recommendation engines only. Both of them will work on the concept called as similarity. How much there is a similarity. Whether this one or this one. For example, content-based means it is going to identify the similarities. For example, you are going to click a new video. It will identify how much similarity to the previous videos. How much similarity score is there with the previous videos. It is going to apply the similarity score. What is meant by similarity score, you know? Distance formula. It is identifying once again the distance formula. How much distance the record to record it is having. Because it is a structured data, right? The distance is low means similarity is high. If the distance is high means similarity is low. Again, it is once again it is working on the distance formula completely. Is that clear? So content based means similarities of whatever we have watched previously, and it is identifying the similarity. And with respect to collaborative filtering means similarity with respect to others. Similar kind you others. That is the collaborative filtering and content based filtering. I mean, not filtering, content based recommendation engines. So let us see the coding part. Because this is a inside this text data is there. Text data has to be encoded means we have to use with respect to TF IDF factorizer. This is not worked on the encoding concept. Here also here is also numeric is converted. Text is converted to numeric only. But if it is already in a structured data, in the structured data, if you are having only one single word means that single word will be converted to numerical format. If the text data is in a multiple words, the multiple words we can't take into the in terms of like that. So these multiple words, whenever we are having the multiple words or sentences, then we have to apply the TF IDF factorizer. So this we'll see in the coding part, we'll see in the later class, not in the today's class. Okay. Once we complete the NLP, we'll see this one. Association rules. So what is association rules means? This association, this is also very simple. Like earlier example, whatever we have discussed related to YouTube or Netflix, whatever it is, association rules also very simple. The association rule means, for example, you are purchasing, this is generally applied in the DMart or Reliance Mart, which is called as with Mark. This is also called as association rules. Whatever the association rules are called, this is also called as market basket analysis. Market basket analysis, which is nothing but MBA. M is market, B is basket, A is analysis. Okay. So this is also with respect to market basket analysis. Generally, it is applied in the supermarkets. This concept, entire concept is applied majorly in the supermarkets. Right? So, supermarkets. Now, what is this association rule? Association means a combination of two or more products combiningly. Okay. So, in the particular, for example, any persons are purchasing any product in the DMart. They have went for the DMart and they have purchased the product in the DMart, and they'll have a bill, one bill. Inside that bill, there will be with respect to multiple items, and quantity also will be different. Whatever the things. Now, each bill is called as one transaction. One bill, every one bill is called as one transaction. Inside that bill might be one product, where might be two products, might be, or 20 products might be, or 500 items might be, anything. But entire one bill, complete bill is called as one transaction. One entire bill is called as transaction. Now, here I'm collecting the data of last 1 month. 1 month, DMart. Okay, DMart, Amirpet branch, DMart Amirpet branch, with respect to 1 month transactions. I have collected the data of 1 month transactions. Now, within these transactions, I am going to observe within the single bill, separately in the single bill. For example, in this single bill, one person has purchased with toothpaste, toothbrush, some kind of soaps, shampoos, or something. In the another bill, one more person has purchased with toothpaste, toothbrush. Along with that, he has purchased some kind of oil packet or something. In the other one person has purchased with toothpaste and eggs. And one more person has purchased with respect to some toothbrush and oil packet, eggs, something like this. They have purchased, and rice. Right? Now, each transaction, whatever the transaction I'm having, within the transaction, which is commonly having the pattern, which is commonly appearing. Okay, which is commonly appearing, that one I'm going to identify. So here I'm going to identify that most of the people who are buying the toothbrush, they are buying with respect to toothpaste. Okay, this is the association. So for example, any person, generally, if the person wants to purchase 100 grams of toothpaste, particular paste like Colgate, they want to purchase Colgate of 100 grams. Now, In order to make this particular person to purchase with 150 grams, what we have to do? If you ask to purchase 150 means, he'll not say that I'm not having the budget, 100 grams is sufficient. But we want to attract this person to purchase the 100 grams, 150 grams means just we have to add the brush combo offer. Though he is not interested with the 50 grams also, he'll purchase. Instead of going with the brush separately, hey, let us go with this one. Automatically brush also is free now. He will do the calculations. By seeing the offer, immediately in the brain, multiple calculations will be done. And based on the calculations, finally they will select whatever the combo offer, right? So for example, some persons are there, like they want to purchase the cool drinks. In the DMart, 2.5 liters cool drinks are more famous, right? Sprite bottles or Thumbs Up bottles, whatever it is, right? 2.25 liters. Whoever the persons are going to purchase this 2.25 liters cool drink, generally no one will go and purchase only cool drink. Automatically for cool drink will equate the Lay's packet. Right? So what they are going to do, this combination they have observed, and this Lay's packet, they'll keep side to the no combo offer, just they'll keep side. Immediately it will attract us. Side by side, both will be side by side, just they have changed the location. And since whenever we have purchased the cool drink, obviously once we purchase the cool drink, our eyes will turn like this, right? The next one, what will be there? Lay's packets will be there. Array, for this munching, it will be nice. Let us bring this one. Like this, which one is the best combo? Which one is the best common? Commonly, most of the commonly is there. This everyone knows. This brush and paste, everyone knows. So I'm explaining this one in a simple example. Now, there is one mart. I don't know exactly that mart name. It is in Canada. Okay, this is in Canada. And they want to see the association rules, and they want to identify something, they want to identify whichever is the best combinations are there, and they want to increase their sales. So first they have observed, they have done the association rules on that, and whatever the transactions they have done that things, and they have identified one common thing is generally in that mart beer is available. Generally beer is available means beer with Lay's packet or beer with some other munching will be there. But the special thing in that particular mart is, special thing is there, you know, with a beer, it is diaper. Okay, which is one of the most famous one, right? So very rare combo, right? That particular mart only. So what they have done after observing this one, they have not given any kind of combo offer. Just whatever the beers will be, the fridge is there, right? Generally the beers will be in the fridge, refrigerator. Whatever it is in the refrigerator, side to refrigerator, they have kept the diaper packets. So the person has came for diaper packets and he has selected the beer bottle and he has went away. Basically, they have came for diaper packets. The reason of diaper packets, why they will come? That to children diaper packets. So children diaper packets means with respect to, now whenever the children's diaper packets the person is selecting is generally the children's diaper packet will be age of 0 to 1 years. Okay, less than 1 year means we'll select the diaper packet of 1 year or 1 to 2 years or something like this. So this diaper packets they are selecting means within 0 to 2 years, generally the kids will continuously cry. They will disturb, will not have the sleep. To get the sleep, they'll select the beer bottle. That is the reason. Okay, diaper will be satisfied by their wife, beer will be satisfied by that person. Both are satisfied. That night will be completed. Right? So, just this, all the things they have analyzed. They have not given by default like this. After observing the transactions, after observing the multiple transactions, they have came with a combo that is beer and diaper. Right? Just they have kept both of them side by side. That's it. They have not done any kind of combo offer. Right? Now, for example, any bachelor's rooms are available in Amirpet, assume. Near to bachelor's room, there is one kind of grocery store is there. Okay, they are maintaining the eggs. Okay, generally they are not maintaining the vegetables, but along with the eggs, they will keep the tomatoes also. Near to the bachelor's rooms. It normally means they will not keep with respect to. So the eggs, tomatoes or rice, all of them, which commonly they will select. They'll keep in the one location. Instead of going to 4 to 5 different shops, they'll go to one shop only and they'll bring all the required items. Right? This is completely called as association rules. Association means commonly associated, which is commonly associated. Commonly associated items is called as association rules. Okay. So in the given database of transaction, each transaction is considered as a list of items. Every transaction in that multiple items will be there. So here we are going to identify the frequent patterns. What is the common patterns are there? Most times repeated pattern is there. Okay. So for example, if some persons are purchasing with the rice of 25 kgs, with that commonly one more other product they are purchasing. This is person number 1. Person number 2 who is purchasing rice of 25 kgs, they'll purchase another product. Person number 3, person number 4. In all the, for example, 100 persons has purchased 25 kgs rice bag. Out of these 100 persons, how many of them are having the common thing? Along with the rice bag, what is the other product is common? Some other product also will be common, will be there, right? Which is the common other product? That one is the, we are going to identify that pattern. That pattern once we identified, if you want to increase the sales of rice bag, just you have to bring that product along with this one combo offer, or you have to keep side by side. That is in order to increase the sales. So just the human psychology is with respect to if there is a more combo offers or value for money, though we are not interested, or also, for example, we don't require, also will purchase. Okay, the other things we don't require also will purchase. That's they have observed all these things. Based on the observations, okay, now observations, whether this is a comedy observations or serious observations, that is secondary. But from the all the observations at the end, we require the business. Whatever we have observed, from that we have to create the business. That is more important. Okay, for business, these are all comes under different kind of strategies. So this is one of the strategy where it is identifying the common patterns and it is going to create the combo offers. For why paste, toothpaste, it is brush only free. Why they can't give with respect to shampoo or others also free? Why they are giving with respect to brush only? Reason? Because that is commonly frequent, most frequent item. Since this example is more familiar for you, it is very easy for you. For unknown, like for oil packet, what is the best combination for oil packets? Which is the best combination is there? Or for example, with respect to some ghee of 1 kg is there. For that, which one? So something will be there, right? Those patterns we are going to identify based on the given data set. Right? So identifying the unique patterns, frequent patterns, identifying the frequent patterns. Frequent means most repeated patterns. Frequently repeated, which was most repeated patterns in the given transactions. Just we are identifying them. And from that, we are going to make the business. So association rules, the probability of occurrence of items in a collection, it is discovering some interesting relationships between the items. It identifies which is the most commonly they have brought. Right? So market basket analysis is the one of the key techniques used by the large retailers to uncover the association between the items. Now, for example, mobile phone is there. For mobile phone, every person will purchase the screen guard. Formally, they will purchase the screen guard. And with respect to either screen guard or case, back case, this is common for production. Both of them, front side production is screen guard and back side production is case. So everyone are going to purchase this one. So they have made a combo offer while purchasing the product only. Inside the product only, they have kept the, with respect to the case, back case. For some mobile phones like MI or Realme, we'll get the back cases also inside that one only. For Apple, will not get. Apple, when you purchase the Apple in Amazon, it is going to recommend us that one. It will recommend. Automatically, it will recommend us. Because the most of the people who has purchased the Apple product in the within the Amazon, they have purchased along with that back case. Because the company is not providing that one. That is their observation. Whatever the observation is there, that is going to recommend. Now, what is the use of this recommendation? Whenever you select that particular product, automatically whatever the down recommendation engine is there, you will see immediately that recommendation engine. In that recommendation engine, if it is providing the back case, now immediately you check whether in my particular mobile phone, whether back case is available or not. If it is not available, while purchasing only, both of them at a time, you will keep the order. So indirectly, they are increasing the business of this back covers. By producing these recommendation engines, they are increasing the turnover, which is nothing but by selling the back covers. That is the use of recommendation engines. Recommendation engines, association rules, all these algorithms at the end lead to the improvement in the business. Is that clear? So large retailers like bread and jam, who are purchasing the bread, most commonly they will purchase with respect to the jam or butter, whatever it is. Who are purchasing the laptop, commonly they will purchase with the laptop bag. If the laptop bag was not provided, automatically that laptop bag they will purchase. This is the common association. Along with that laptop mouse, wireless mouse or wide mouse, whatever it is, right? So for example, if you go to a shop, okay, some ex-person has went to a shop, that is laptop showroom. He has went to a laptop showroom and he wants to purchase the laptop. Now for this ex-person, they have shown the laptop 1, they have shown the laptop 2, they have shown the laptop 3. Now I want to increase the sales of laptop 3 because this gives for me more profit. Okay. So this, if I sell this particular laptop 3, I will get the 3,000 rupees profit. If I sell this one, I will get only 1,500 profit. If I sell this laptop 1, I will get 1,500 profit. Now this laptop will give me more profit, 3,000 rupees profit. Now I want to sell this one. If I say this one, sir, take this one, sir, so that I will get the profit, miss, who will purchase? None of the people will purchase like that. Now I want to attract the customer by selling this laptop 3. Now what I have to do? This, I'm going to add the, sir, if you purchase this laptop, free keypad and mouse, which is worth of 1,500 rupees, sir. Now the person will think about this 1,500. He'll forget about the configuration. He'll forget about the company name. Okay, this laptop, if you purchase, means additional, this one is there. So it is good value for money and we'll feel like that and we'll purchase. Actually, this is not worth of 1,500. MRP will be 1,500. Again, for this 1,500 also, they are going to get some profit, right? So that is called as manipulation. So this manipulation is done based on the free word. Just they have, for this free, for example, if they say that free instead of keyboard or mouse, if they say, for example, the free is some kind of pen drive, students will not be interested. When compared to the mouse or keyboard, pen drive will not have that much of impact. That analysis they have done. Not on the first day or for the first customer, right? This laptop showroom was there for almost 1 year. In this 1 year, they have observed with respect to different customers. Based on whatever the analysis they have observed, based on that, they have created the free. If they give the pen drive, means pen drive is 200 rupees only, na? I will get. Okay, 64 GB pen drive. In Google, will type 64 GB pen drive. It is 320 rupees. 320 rupees or 400 rupees. 400 rupees only, no, nothing. Keyboard and mouse, 1,500. Let us go with this one. Here they'll focus on the free one, forget about the whatever the configuration. Original configuration they'll forget. Okay, they have observed this one. Okay, some of the people, it may not be applicable for all of them. For example, any particular person, he is fixed with he has went to the showroom and he has asked i5 with the 10th generation quad core processor. For example, that person is showing, sir, this is i5 10th generation, 2 GB graphics is there. Array, I didn't ask 2 GB, I asked quad core. Tell me whether it is quad core processor or not. If he knows about the configuration, strict about the configuration, means then these free offers will not be applicable. He will not be deviated. He is having a dilemma. For example, one particular person has went to the laptop showroom and he says that, Bhaiya, show me one best laptop. Then laptop person who is going to sell, he will do the festival. Inside the heart, festival will run. Okay, some kind of Rahman music will run in the backend. Okay, one Bakra I have got. Okay, so if the person says that, show one of the best laptop, from your perspective, you only tell me which is the best, miss. Surely they'll do the festival. Because you don't know anything, na? They will give with, even if there is a possibility, they'll send the Bangkok product also. Right? You know that? In the Hyderabad, we'll get more number of products from Thailand. Laptops. Do you know? You will know only after warranty is completed. Till warranty, no problem will be there, right? In the laptop. Till 1 year, no problem will be there. Whether it is a Thailand product, whether it is a China product, also 1 year, no problem. After 1 year only, once it shows the picture, a dirty picture, right? At that time, you'll understand all these things. Once you go to, once you take your laptop to the company showroom and if you show your product, means they'll say this is Thailand product. If you go to the original shop also, they'll say that warranty is completed now. Up to 1 year means I'll also be responsible. 1 year is completed now. Now what I have to do? They'll say like this. Simply they'll skip off. These things will be done to the persons who are unknown, completely unknown to people. Who are known everything means they'll check the warranty in front of them only. They'll register immediately on the spot only that IMEI number. They'll check with respect to whatever the number is there. That they will check in the official Dell website. In the Dell, they'll register with respect to the extended warranty on the spot. 1 year warranty along with the extended warranty, they'll register on the spot. If it is getting registered means original product. If it is not getting registered means it is a duplicate product. Right? That is experience. Done. So now here the association rules is if a person buys a product A, what is the probability that he'll purchase the product B? That is called as association rule. Is that clear? So we are going to continue this association rules in the tomorrow's class along with the coding part of the association rule and along with that the random forest. Whatever we have left out in the last month 24th mystery class, that we are going to do in the tomorrow's class, repetition. On Sunday, we'll start the ANN, that is neural networks, that is AI. Okay. So tomorrow's class and day after tomorrow's class, morning 7:30. Once again, it is morning 7:30. R and M, they are not fixed. R and M are not fixed. Both of them are not fixed.